Before we start, if you love raw, real-life stories like this, hit that subscribe button and share your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one, and your experiences matter. I never thought a single text could make my world tilt, but it did. I was scrolling through my phone late one night when a message from my mom flashed on the screen. "We need to talk about the warehouse." The warehouse. My dad had left it to me before he died. A hidden property full of old inventory, paperwork, and, truth be told, a lot of secrets. I had never told Mom about it. Not because I didn't trust her, but because I wanted to protect her from the mess, from the legal headaches, from the memories it stirred. I stared at her text for minutes, my chest tightening. Then another message came through, this one from my stepdad, "Tom, you're making things complicated. Mom just wants peace." Peace. I laughed bitterly. Peace didn't exist here. Not since Dad passed, not since Mom started seeing Tom, and certainly not now. The signs had been there for months. Subtle, almost invisible things. Missed calls from Mom when I knew she was home. Quick, awkward explanations about where she'd been. Whispered phone conversations that stopped when I walked in. A look from Tom, smug, possessive, like he owned her and everything in her life. I had told myself I was imagining it, that grief made me paranoid. But when I finally went to the warehouse, something felt off. The lock had been tampered with. Boxes shifted. Papers I was certain I'd stacked neatly were scattered. And there, in the corner, I found a small envelope addressed to me, but not in my father's handwriting. Inside were receipts, contracts, and letters. All evidence that Tom had been siphoning money from Dad's old investments, trying to claim what wasn't his. My blood ran cold. My mom had no idea, or maybe she did and was ignoring it. I didn't confront her immediately. I watched first from a distance. I started noticing patterns. She'd answer Tom's calls before mine. She laughed a little too easily at his jokes. When I tried to talk about Dad, she'd change the subject. And then came the evening I stumbled across the text thread I wasn't supposed to see. Tom and a lawyer were discussing the warehouse. Phrases like "sell quickly before he finds out," and "don't let him inherit it" jumped off the screen. I felt like I'd been punched in the gut. Rage, disbelief, and heartbreak collided inside me. How could my mom, let this happen? Was she blind, or worse, complicit? I confronted her that night, voice shaking. "Mom, did you know he was stealing Dad's warehouse from me?" She looked at me like I'd lost my mind. I didn't know it was like that. Tom promised me it was just paperwork, that it wouldn't affect you." "Paperwork?" I shouted, my hands trembling. "He's taking everything Dad left. And you're letting him." Tears filled her eyes. "I didn't know how to protect you. I thought I was keeping the family together." The conflict wasn't simple. Mom loved Tom, or at least thought she did. She wanted stability, someone to lean on after Dad died. And I understood that, even as my chest ached with betrayal. I couldn't hate her completely. Grief made her vulnerable, just like it had made me angry and suspicious. But understanding didn't erase the hurt. It didn't undo the nights I'd spent alone, wondering why my own family seemed to be plotting against me. It didn't fix the way memories of Dad now cut like knives. Happy times at the warehouse, his hands on my shoulder, laughing about silly mistakes, all tainted by the knowledge of Tom's deceit. I spent weeks sorting through the warehouse, cataloging what was mine and documenting the discrepancies Tom had created. Every receipt, every contract was a reminder. Betrayal is real, and sometimes it comes from the people closest to you. Eventually, Mom admitted she'd suspected something, but didn't know how to confront it. She said she loved Tom and wanted a life with him, but also that she hadn't wanted to ruin my inheritance or hurt me. Her guilt was genuine, but her choices had consequences. I realized that night something important. People aren't always entirely good or evil. They make mistakes, and sometimes those mistakes ripple outward, hurting those we love most. But you still have a choice. You can let it destroy you, or you can take control of your life. I chose control. I took the warehouse, protected what was mine, and separated myself from the chaos at home. Mom and I spoke less, carefully, cautiously, but I never severed ties completely. I had to rebuild, slowly learning to trust my own judgment again. That Christmas, I stayed alone in the warehouse. The scent of old paper and cedar filled the air. I made tea, flipped through Dad's journals, and let the silence remind me of what mattered. Integrity, self-respect, and the ability to make decisions for myself. The warehouse wasn't just property. It was a reminder of my father, of the trust he had placed in me, and of the strength I could summon when betrayal threatened to crush me. I couldn't undo the past, and I couldn't make Mom see things the way I did. But I could move forward, clear-eyed, steady, and unafraid. Sometimes I think about the text that started it all. We need to talk about the warehouse. It's a reminder that secrets can be dangerous, that greed can poison relationships, and that even in betrayal, there's a way to reclaim your life. I don't regret keeping the warehouse a secret from Mom. It protected me, preserved my father's legacy, and ultimately taught me a lesson I'd carry forever. Family can falter, people can disappoint, but your sense of self and the values you hold dear can never be stolen unless you let them be. If you've ever had to protect a family secret, face betrayal, or rebuild trust after loss, share your story in the comments. I want to hear how you survived, how you fought back, or how you learned to protect what matters most. And don't forget to subscribe for more real, emotional stories like this, stories that show heartbreak, betrayal, and the quiet strength it takes to start over.